Hey, what's up? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Chris vs. Abu series. I don't know how many they're going to play. I don't know if it's a best of series or what, but this is game 2 regardless, and over to the far east of the map in green, playing as the Byzantines, we have Avenger, Captain Canada, aka Chris. He is the captain of Canada in AOC land anyway. That is for sure. No doubt the best Canadian player to ever exist. So Chris here, over to the right, over to the left, his very worthy opponent in blue, playing as the Byzantines as well, is Mr. Abu. The map is Mongolia, if I'm not mistaken. We will double check that. It is indeed. And we've got the Byzantines on Mongolia. I always think that that's kind of funny. I always feel like if we're going to watch Mongolia, we should at least have the Mongols playing. But either way, Civ War, and I'm glad they're actually just doing something a little bit different. I actually really love this map. It's like Arabia, but with more cliffs, and it obviously is going to make walling a lot easier. And I love the fact that they're playing Byzantines as well, because they are such a versatile civilization. Though obviously if there is any feudal pressure at all, it's most likely going to be trash units, because they do get those cheaper spearmen, cheaper skirmishers as well. And, well, after that, anything really is a possibility. I mean, they can upgrade to Paladin, they can go to Arbalest, they can do so much. They've got reasonable siege as well. They've got Cataphracts, which I would absolutely love to see, because they're, well, Cataphract's just the most awesome unit in the game. Reasonable camels, which are, by the way, unaffected by Cataphracts, because they're I think the history of it goes something like this. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure back when the Byzantine Empire existed, they kept their camels and their cataphracts like quite close. Well, not their cataphracts, but their horses together, and that way, because they were so used to being together, the camels that they used were never really too concerned about cataphracts or something like that. I don't know. Other way around. The cataphracts aren't affected by the camels' bonus. It's something to do with the way that they kept their horses. I don't know. That made no sense. Let me try and explain it again. Basically, the cataphracts in Age of Empires aren't affected by the camels' bonus against cavalry, and it's due to the fact that the Byzantines kept their camels and their horses together. And I think that's the reason why. I really messed up my first explanation of that, but that's what happens. So anyway, we'll see how this one goes. Chris obviously in that first game played extremely well. He did do an incredible job of just doing a lot of damage to Abu over time, managing to pick off a lot of villagers wherever he got the opportunity. And, well, we'll see if he can do that again here. Obviously, Abu will have a much easier wall here this time. In fact, his map it's not very nice, but at the same time, it's easy to wall. Now, the reason it's not a nice map is just look at his gold. His gold is in a horrible position over here, up behind this tree line. He's got another gold right in the back, which again is in a horrible position because it's sandwiched between the edge of the map, the wall of trees and the cliff, and that's like the only area he can gather from, and that's it. So his gold is in a really nasty position. I don't know what's going on here. These villagers seem to just be glitched out. Oh, okay, they're going over there to take some gold or wall it off. I don't know what they're doing. But on the bright side, he has got a very easy wall. He can wall this front area, he can wall across the right, and that's it. It's all walled in. It looks like he's going to try wall this here to take this gold, and it's very lucky actually that he has got this little pass here so that he can get his villagers through to this gold pile, otherwise it would have been really nasty for him. So yeah, Mongolia is a nice easy map to wall indeed, but Chris, again, getting a slightly better map this time, has got gold in the back of his base, and he's also got a very easy wall as well, which is expected on this map, so that is always worth noting. And because of this easy wall, we could see fast castles from both. This is why earlier I said, or if we see any feudal pressure, then it's most likely to be skirms. Well, I doubt we're going to see any feudal pressure here, because obviously the wall is so easy to do. We may see knights come out in the Castle Age, but we'll have to wait and see. It could be archers as well, but I think Knights probably the better choice in this situation. But either way, there's not going to be a huge amount of action until the Castle Age, and obviously then until the Imperial Age, because this map just does lend itself so well to walling up and playing reasonably defensively. Obviously, you can't get too comfortable behind those walls, because it might end up pretty badly if you do. Obviously, if your opponent builds a couple of rams, mangonels, or whatever, and then a bunch of knights, and then raids you, well, if you've got no defences other than a palisade wall, that's not going to work out too well. So yes. Now, Chris is taking a little bit of gold already. Let's see, he's on 26 population, so it will indeed be a fast castle. Abu on 25, now just getting up to 26 population as well. And, well, I think he started taking gold a little bit earlier, actually, so he might only stick 2 villagers on gold over here. We'll have to wait and see. But Chris doing a pretty standard Dark Age build for a fast castle here. Plenty of farms down. Pretty much just standard. That's all there is to say about that, really. It is literally just standard. Interestingly enough, Abu does have an extra villager on berries here. I'm not really sure why that is. Yeah, it's certainly not that crucial to do that, and he has got himself 3, 6, 7 farms compared to Chris's 3, 6 farms, so 1 less farm for him. And Chris as well, it seems like he's still only just finishing off his sheep, so he's going to have a lot more food by the looks of it in the bank, and indeed he has. Abu on 150, Chris on 350. It's a huge difference indeed. So barracks going down now. We'll probably see a stable and a blacksmith in the feudal age, and then we'll see what happens from there. As I say, I'm imagining we'll see knights, obviously with a lot of food down, a lot of farms down, a lot of food income coming in already, and already having the villagers on gold. It does lend itself very nicely to knights, but obviously at the same time, if you are making a lot of economy, if you go straight up to 3 TCs, then the extra food cost of that, sustaining villager production, also means that you might not be able to keep knight production up all that much as well. So it is a very fine balancing act in most situations. So Chris up to the feudal age now. Abu just a little bit further behind. I don't think either of these guys took any deer. The deer patch for Chris out here certainly wasn't taken at all. I don't know where Abu's deer are. They're over here, so no chance of him taking them either, really. But there's the stable down for Chris, there's the blacksmith as well, and we'll see a castle time of, well, most likely 14 minutes, I'd say, which is pretty reasonable. Obviously Byzantine's not getting any eco bonuses. Market blacksmith for Abu this time though. Now, it could be interesting to see if Abu does any kind of market voodoo juju in the Castle Age, because obviously having the market there does mean that you could buy some stone. It does mean that you can do that, and it does mean as well that you can take advantage of selling stone to get a faster Castle Age, which he's not done this time, but we'll see if he buys stone at all. He could end up doing a 3 TC boom because of that, which would be kind of interesting to see. Chris here though, blacksmith, stable, and he is up to the Castle Age. Abu as well, really not too far behind though, and I'm hoping that once they do get up to the Castle Age, we'll start to see some real action here, because obviously watching a boom war, it may as well just be Black Forest if that's all it's going to be. I'm wondering where Abu's scout is actually, and oh wait, he lost his scout, didn't he? I actually forgot to mention that. He did lose his scout here outside of this TC. So Chris still has his scout in place, and he can see that Abu is walling up now. He can see that he is building houses behind these walls, and that is very much an indicator that he's going to do a big boom. And I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. I find it odd because he's got an extra 20 gold. He's taken stone even. He's taken 20 stone from this stone mine for some reason, and I don't know why. Alright, so sorry about that. Dropping frames for some reason. I don't know why. It seems very, very temperamental. You just never know if it's going to be good or not. I've reduced the bit rate slightly, changed the server that I'm streaming to. I'll tab out in a second and see how it goes. Now, this is interesting from Chris. This is looking good for me. He's building a monastery at the front here. He's building a siege workshop, and we're looking to get pretty aggressive. He's still only on the 1 TC at the moment. Now he's going to be able to afford his third TC very shortly, but at the moment he's actually building a mangonel and building monks out here, starting to take the map control. And it looks like Abu, well, with this double wall up, Chris obviously knows Abu's just going to boom behind this. So Abu at this stage has no military at all, nothing at all to defend himself with. And what was I literally just saying a few minutes ago? Don't get complacent behind your walls, because if you've got no army and your opponent rolls up with rams or mangonels, then it's going to be nasty. It seems like Chris must have just heard my words of wisdom there and decided to play it that way. Clearly, this is the only reason why Chris is a 2K plus player, because he's listening to the stream and taking my advice. Obviously, I'm only kidding, but yeah, he's breaking down this wall. I don't know about this decision to actually attack this house very quickly. I think maybe if he'd have waited for that second mangonel first, because he would get the house down a lot quicker and give Abu much less time to react. Abu now then walling it up with stone, putting a siege workshop up here as well, and hoping that he can keep himself safe behind his walls. Let me check really quickly the stream here. Yeah, there we go. Not dropping any frames anymore, so that's good. So yeah, Chris is trying to break down this very quickly here. He's being lame as well while he's at it, trying to wall these this gold pile up and make sure that Abu's not getting that anytime soon. And going to work his way through here. Next up is the blacksmith, and at the moment, well, he's not actually getting any more siege out. In fact, yeah, he's switched to the mill now, because obviously the mill does have less health. Makes sense to aim that one down first. Abu getting up a mangonel of his own. Now he's going to have to out-micro Chris quite heavily here. And this is very risky for Chris, because obviously he's still only on the 1 TC. Abu's building up very quickly. And obviously, if this attack fails, it's going to be very nasty for Chris to deal with if he loses this push or whatever. Watchtower going up for Abu though, so it's almost a minor victory in that sense. And Abu's just alerted him to the fact that there is a mangonel out on the field now as well. And it looks like as well, oh dear, Abu actually lost that, lost the tower there. Oh man! And Chris just gets a very quick conversion on that mangonel. Another one as well. He just converted both of them. And suddenly Abu's got 2 or 3, even 4 in a second mangonels inside of his base. Hitting down on these TCs, doing damage to these villagers, and this is really horrible for Abu in this situation. Villagers going to go down very quickly to mangonel fire, and they are getting caught out. Next thing Chris is going to probably try and do is convert this siege workshop if he has the tech. If he can do that, then that's going to be huge for him. But at the moment, getting caught out a little bit. 1 mangonel traded for 1 mangonel, but Chris is in. And Abu has no military. What else is he sending over? Just more mangonels, more monks. And it's like he's taken a leaf from Eddie's book. There's the conversion on the siege workshop, and he's taken it as well. Abu has nothing. He's just putting up a barracks now, and Chris is just steamrolling on in. Abu just did not expect it, and literally what I said at the start of this video, don't get complacent behind your walls. One problem for Chris at the moment is that he doesn't really have a lot of military units out to protect these mangonels. It literally is just siege and monks. Yeah, he could get some conversions on these. He could get some conversions on these villagers, I guess, and repair his mangonel up with it. But it looks like he's going to lose that mangonel to the villager there. But this villager will most likely die. And Chris now just casually just going to build a house with the villager that was once yours. Getting the pressure on. Back at home, he's got up his second TC. And he's taking a lot of resources here. Could really do with replenishing this lumber camp, but he is saving as much resources as he can for this push, obviously. Not splitting his lumber at all there. And Abu now spending villager time repairing these town centres. Really has very little to stop Chris from pushing in. And there we go, 2 stables out. Gonna get some scout cavalries out. Great counters to this because they do take monks out very quickly, and they do kill mangonels reasonably quickly as well. But Chris has got some camels in here as well, and the camels, of course, going to be able to do extra damage to the scout cavalry, and that is going to be quite painful for the scouts. There's so many mangonels in Abu's base, and if he loses these 2 TCs, that is just going to be so nasty for him. Chris taking advantage of this hill here as well, and Abu has to react. He has to do something. It's just so funny to see him like not have anything here, and Chris just piling on in with all the mangonels in the world at this moment in time. It looks like this TC will fall eventually. I can hear monks doing conversion voodoo stuff, but I don't know where he's actually getting the conversions. He may have tried to oh man, he converted the blacksmith, and now he's just rolling on in with mangonels at more of an angle. This is just insane. This TC gonna go down. Abu will lose it. There's no question about it. He's got too many villagers repairing there, and they're not gonna be able to do enough, it seems. This TC has to fall now. It's got to go down. There we go. It falls, and Chris has just got one step closer to getting in here. Meanwhile, Abu's trying to get these light cavalry in, and he's going to make a charge now by the looks of it. Chris, though, has got 5 or 6 monks out, not monks, camels out, so he's going to have to try and react very quickly here. Abu doing a great job of focusing down those mangonels, though. Going to go next for the monks, of course, the most valuable units here. And surprisingly, losing 3 mangonels there. And now Chris is down on 2, but he's already done so much damage. He's still only on 2 TCs back home as well, but so much damage done by Chris so far, and getting in here, forcing Abu's villagers to be idle, forcing them to put up watchtowers and stuff as well, and it's pretty nasty, to be honest with you. Chris has quite a lot of camels here too now, so he's got enough to counter anything that Abu's going to throw out at him in terms of cavalry. Looks like, again, this TC is about to fall. Abu is very low on stone right now. He has no stone back here to gather at all. This stone pile has been claimed, and once that stone goes down, it's going to be really nasty for him. But that tower not going to do a whole lot for him either. And Abu now, just so many villagers trying to keep this TC alive, and he's just not able to do it. By the looks of it, it just does not seem possible. My bad as well, it's not stone to repair these. I always get that confused. I always think it costs stone to repair that TC, but evidently not. So many mangonels from Chris, and I've got to say, this is just looking so GG for Abu now. He is making a bunch of camels, but there's a castle up here on the right for Chris. Just like as if that wasn't enough, he will take down that house and probably get in the back as well. A lot of camels for both. Chris with +1 defense, though, that might make quite a bit of difference. And of course, moving in with these mangonels wherever he can. And the monks are going to get conversions here too, and just do as much damage as they can. Let's see if Abu can actually hold this one back. It doesn't look likely, but it's very hard to see the colours here. Let me just Alt G very quickly. Chris then clearly getting that victory there. And I think this is probably GG from Abu any moment now. That castle at the back gonna take down that house, and that's just another avenue in for Chris at the back of the base there. And I am really impressed by this play by Chris. He is just making things work. It's excellent. Absolutely brilliant to see. Petards as well. He's going with petards now. We're going to bust down this house and just get in there. Not that it really matters too much now, because he's busted in so far at the front anyway. But petard's coming out. Maybe he's going to try and petard rush a TC or something. But look at those barracks. Abu has no space to build, and now Chris adding in cataphracts. So he's got the perfect counter once again, because Abu is going to be adding in spearmen here, but cataphract's going to be coming out, and that is going to do the damage he needs, I think. Abu, though, trying to wall this one up very quickly. Is Chris going to stop the wall off? It looks like he might. He's so close to getting in. Is he going to do it? Nope. He didn't notice in time, and he's going to have to make a few more petards to get in there. But will it really matter? Chris now just doing damage, as much damage as he can to these villagers. It doesn't matter to him at this moment in time. Just got to get the villagers down, and once those villagers are down, it doesn't matter so much if he loses the camels, because he's already done the damage, he's already done the deed. So much death for Abu at the moment. He's just lost so much. A tower going up on that gold, it's just perfection, and the cataphracts now coming around on the front as well, just to help out inside here, killing off these villagers. Let's check the... Wow! I am actually amazed. I am actually amazed, because look at that villager count. 72 for Chris, 59 for Abu. How on earth has he still got 58 villagers? I've got no idea, but there's the GG. And what a great game from Chris that was. That was just so good. Really brilliant. And to think these guys are actually rated the same level. Chris made that look like a walk in the park. That was just incredible stuff by him. You can see how, just look at these farms, you can see how quickly Chris must have been, his APM must have been so high. The fact that these farms are so spaced out, he must have done that in a matter of seconds. But either way, that was really impressive by him, and that was a very fun game. Also, this villager seems to think it's a good idea to get trapped inside of a stable. I've never seen that before.